All right, the 2023 Toyota Sequoia just got unveiled, wearing the Tundra face and built on the Tundra platform slash the global Land Cruiser platform, which is also what the new Lexus LX 600 is based upon as well. Why does this matter? Well, it's basically a Highlander that can tow. For most families anyway. Okay, obviously it's not a Highlander, but you know what I mean. It's one of those 3-row SUVs that you're going to purchase if towing is of a concern, because this thing can tow up to 9,000 pounds and is only available with the iForce Max, the hybrid powertrain that Toyota offers for the Tundra. Well, that is going to be the only powertrain option available for the Sequoia. So it's going to be producing 437 horsepower and 583 pounds-feet of torque. So you have that aspect as well. It's going to be a lot more fun to drive than something like a Highlander, plus the towing aspect that I already explained. And it's going to be body on frame, legitimate off-road capabilities. Not that 99% of people buying this are going to utilize, but I'm just saying these are going to be the legitimate advantages that you get over something like a Highlander SUV or one of these regular CUV SUVs, right, that are more car-like. This is going to be that rugged option, but definitely far more modernized for 2023. It's going to be the new redesigned Sequoia. It's not going to be that classic, robust, hyper reliable Sequoia that we've all come to love with that 5.7 liter V8. Those days are long gone. All of these companies are going for this lease and dump approach. They're shoving in all of this technology that most of you have mocked. Well, this is now what they're shoving into their vehicles because it's the only way they can be class competitive. So let's go through it. Let's talk about the changes, and I suppose we should first start out with the looks because that's the most drastic change here. And it looks like a Jeep Wagoneer from the rear, or like a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's very strange how the new LX 600 and the Sequoia both look like Jeeps from the side and from the rear. And for the Sequoia, of course, they just put the Tundra face on it because that's basically what the Sequoia has always been. Kind of the SUV closed off version of the Tundra. That's kind of what it's always been, and that's fine. That's what the Tahoe is, at least the equivalent of that for Chevrolet. But we're gonna have the same general trim level options to choose from as the Tundra. It's gonna be pretty similar. We have an SR5, a Limited, a Platinum, and a Capstone version, which recently got unveiled on the Tundra. It's gonna be like their top level luxury grade trim level. That's going to be probably around $70,000, at least for the Tundra anyway. Pricing has not been unveiled for the Sequoia, but we can assume it's going to be a few grand more than the equivalent Tundra, right? And we also have the TRD Pro option as well. And in my opinion, either going with the Limited or the TRD Pro is probably going to be your best use of your money if this is something you're interested in, because historically we all know that TRD Pro models retain their resale value extremely well, even before the pandemic nonsense. It's just a very sought after, desirable vehicle with Toyotas. People love the look, they like just about everything about it. So like I already stated, that hybrid max powertrain is going to be the only powertrain available for this new Sequoia, and I actually think that's a good thing. Even if you're in the market for a new Tundra, I think waiting for that iForce Max powertrain is the way to go, that hybrid, because, well, we're going into a hybrid slash electric society anyway, and this is the best way to take advantage of it. With all that power it produces, 437 horsepower, 583 pounds-feet of torque. That should genuinely make this fun to drive. And it's a twin turbocharged engine. It will have that 10-speed automatic, and unfortunately fuel economy numbers have not been posted yet for the hybrid powertrain, but this can be available in either just a 2-wheel drive or a part-time 4-wheel drive on the SR5 Limited, Platinum, and Capstone grades, but the TRD Pro will only be offered in 4-wheel drive. It's built on that modern new body-on-frame chassis that we got, which is a fully boxed frame, and it shares its architecture with the all-new Tundra and the all-new global Land Cruiser, which shares its platform with the Lexus LX. And the objective with this platform is to provide excellent handling, supreme comfort, and impressive capability, according to Toyota here. They've managed to increase the rigidity, improve the ride quality by utilizing new techniques like laser welding, which reduces mass and weight in areas where it's not needed while reinforcing areas that need it the most. We have independent front suspension with an electronic steering rack, and most importantly, we have a multi-link rear suspension. That's really going to help out with the ride quality, especially for rear passengers, or if you have like a baby in the back or young children, having that smooth ride in the rear is going to make things nice. But one of the biggest highlights for me with this vehicle is that 9,000 pound maximum tow capacity. Now granted, that's probably only going to be achieved in the more base models like the SR5 in the rear wheel drive trims, but this should at least be towing anywhere between 7,000 to 8,000 pounds regularly, no matter what trim level you get. The TRD Pro is probably going to be the worst in terms of towing because, well, it's kind of the more off-road tuned suspension and things, so it probably can't tow that well. But if you get like a limited trim or something, I'm sure it can at least handle up to 8,000 pounds, we would hope, right? So that's going to be more than enough for towing a trailer, a boat, an RV, and this is a 22% increase over the previous generation in terms of towing. And we have some new trailer assistance safety features as well to help making your towing life easier. So you have that to look forward to. And with all these changes, we also have new drive mode selection, so you can choose your eco modes, your normal modes, your sport modes. Toyota's going to make their 2.5 Toyota Sense plus safety features all standard, and it's going to have a multitude of cameras, so you shouldn't really be crashing this thing. It should be a safe vehicle for the most part. And speaking of safe, I'm glad that they're throwing in all the features, but the previous generation Tundra, not exactly the safest vehicle on the planet. In fact, it received very poor ratings for driver side overlap tests. So I'd be very curious to see how this new Sequoia and the new Tundra fares in a crash test. That's very important to me, especially if you're hauling family in vehicles like this. But at least we have all the safety features in here that most people would want. We have here a standard 14-speaker JBL premium audio system. Hopefully they've improved that, because typically JBL audio systems from Toyota just sound really bass heavy, and it's not exactly the best sound system. So hopefully they tuned that to sound a little bit better here, especially since this is more of a premium vehicle, or it's in a pseudo premium segment, I guess. Just depends on how much you load this thing up, right? The Capstone model is really kind of a waste of money, honestly. It doesn't really add a whole lot other than some badges, 22-inch chrome wheels, power steps that fold in and out when you open the door, and really the only main difference here that's actually of value is the acoustic glass for the front doors for sound deadening purposes. So this should be the quietest Sequoia, but only the Capstone receives that acoustic glass. Let's hope that the regular models are pretty quiet, because paying potentially upwards of $70,000 to get that Capstone just to get acoustic glass is not worth it, because you don't really get a whole lot outside of that. Which is why I think getting a limited trim is a pretty good balance, or even an SR5 upgrade package. That should be good as well, or just straight up getting the TRD Pro package. If you are going to be paying more for a Sequoia, getting the TRD Pro is good, because the resale value at least is going to be amazing on that. And regarding the interior and infotainment, obviously the interior is going to be the same basic layout as the new Tundra that already got unveiled, and it's going to either have an 8-inch screen or a 14-inch screen, touch screens mind you, and I'm sure everybody wants that 14-inch screen. This is the mark of a good car nowadays. Whichever vehicle has the biggest screen is the best vehicle, apparently. That's how people see it. And it's going to have its own little voice command features, like when you say, "Hey Toyota," it opens up a Siri-like experience for you, so you can play with that. It's got over-the-air updates, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And that's basically a look at the new Sequoia. Honestly, seems like a very class competitive vehicle. It's certainly something to put on your short list. I haven't personally driven the new Tundra yet, but just about everyone who has driven the new Tundra seems to like it. But then again, people nowadays seem to like everything, that's new. So they just get caught up with the glitz and the glam. But know this, the reliability on a vehicle like this, especially a first model year, is going to be questionable. But fortunately, we can read off the warranties here. So I'll just read that to you. 36-month, 36,000 mile basic new car warranty with an additional 60-month or 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. And corrosion is included with that, with no mileage limitation. The hybrid components, well, the hybrid control module and the inverters and converters are covered for up to 8 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. And the battery is covered for 10 years or 150,000 miles. So what I would do, if you're serious about this vehicle, like you love it, right? This is your dream family vehicle. It does everything you want. It's got the towing, the third row and everything with all the features. You like this, right? Okay, so you have that 10-year, 150,000 mile battery warranty. I would pay up for an additional warranty to cover everything else, all the electronics, the powertrain, everything to equal that 10-year, 150,000 mile warranty. I'm sure the finance manager will be more than happy to sell you that. So if you want to own this for longer than 3 years, I would definitely recommend to you to purchase an extended warranty because, yeah, I mean, look at all the tech that they're shoving in here. This is one of the most complicated drivetrains you're ever going to see. Rich people don't care about reliability, but the reason why so many people do care is because, well, people like to buy used cars because that's what normal people like you and I can afford. And do you want to pick one of these up used? Well, that's not really happening. This is a lease and dump, in my opinion. That's just where the society is going nowadays. Accept it. It is what it is. I'm fine with it. I've grown accustomed to it. I've leased multiple cars. Never been an issue for me. It's just something that I budget for. But if you are going to be keeping long term, get that TRD Pro package. I think that's going to be worth your money and your investment. I just hope that this is going to be a safe vehicle and crash tests. And it looks like a promising vehicle and a powerful one at that. So let me know in the comment section if you would choose this over like the new Tahoes or some of the new Jeep products that are coming out now, like the Wagoneers. And even some of the European vehicles, because this is probably going to be competing in the European car price category if you load it up. So let me know if this is still the vehicle that you would choose. Is this something that you're excited for? Or will you just get a Tundra? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks again for watching. Take care and goodbye.